Hi guys, welcome back to the fourth virtual day. Back on the second virtual day, I introduced this idea called law of large numbers. And I had you guys do an experiment where you rolled a four-sided die on Google, and I kind of wanted to go over some of those results with you. So we had 70 students respond. So that meant each student did 10 rolls, so we ended up with 700 total rolls of that four-sided die. So roll number one, you can see that 2 was 37% of the time, and 3 and 4 were way down here at 18.6. Now 1 was 25.7, so it was close to being what the theoretical probability should have been, but these other three numbers are pretty far off. All right, so that's 70 responses. So you can see there that if you roll a four-sided die just 70 times, even though that seems like a lot, according to the law of large numbers, 70 isn't near enough for the experimental probability to be close to the theoretical probability. And I'm not going to break down all 10 rolls, that'd get pretty boring pretty quick, but I am going to put them up here and maybe highlight a few things. So here's roll number 2. Okay, we have 2 of them close to that 25%, but then these 2 are off. Roll number 3, all right, so 70 more rolls. Look at that. Only 8.6% of the time did we get a 2 versus 38.6. So again, that's just a sample of 70 rolls, and you can see that the theoretical probability and the experimental probability aren't matching. Okay, roll 4. Again, it's pretty lopsided with 35.7%. Theoretically, it would have been 25%, so that's 10% higher. Another 35%, a different number at 35%, but still, that one has 35%. And notice, back at roll number 3, the 8.6% is for 2, so it was way small, but then at roll number 4, it was the biggest one. That's how law of large numbers works. If you keep doing it enough times, it'll start to balance itself out. Okay, roll number 5, I already looked at that, where a 1 was 35.7%. We have 2 of them in the 30s. So again, not close to that 25, 25, 25, 25 yet. The green, which is a 4, is in the 30s. Roll number 8. This is the one that was the closest. Okay, we had 2 of them at 27% and 2 of them at basically 23%. So not quite 25, 25, 25, 25, but really, really close. 30%, so we're 5% bigger than we should be, but 2 of them at 24.3, that's pretty close. And then roll number 10, another one at 35.7%. So you can see if you take any 70 rolls, we did that 10 times, only 1 time did we get close to the 25, 25, 25, and 25. All right, so let's see what happens when we put all 700 rolls together and see how close we got. All right, so remember, theoretical probability is, mathematically speaking, what we would expect to happen. Experimental probability is what does actually happen when you perform that experiment. All right, so we had 700 trials. That says trails, but it should say trials. All right, we had 700 trials, which means we had 700 rows. And theoretical probability says that each number should have been landed on 25% of the time, or 175 out of 700. That's 25%. So let's see what actually happened. We landed on a 1, 24.6% of the time. We landed on a 2, 25.9%. We landed on a 3, 23% of the time. And we landed on a 4, 26.6% of the time. So when we combined all 700 rolls, we got as close to 25, 25, 25, 25, we got closer to that than we did with any of those 70. So you can see the law of large numbers at work. The more times we perform that trial, the closer we get to the theoretical probability. Okay, here's a pie chart. Now I had to use something different, so I don't think the colors match the previous pie charts, but you can see it's not quite 4 perfect wedges, but it's close. Okay, so here's what I want you guys to do. I'm going to provide that link again in Google Classroom to that exact same form. I want you to do that experiment a minimum, that should say of 3 times. You can tell I didn't proofread this, I'm sorry. I want you to do this a minimum of 3 times, but you can do it 1,000 times if you're that bored, all right? If you have nothing better to do, all right? You can do it as many times as you want, as long as it's 3. So if you get super bored and you feel like doing it 10 times in a row, that's fine. Wake up tomorrow, you want to do it 15 more times, that's fine. I don't care if you do it 25, 100 times, but I do want everybody to do it a minimum of 3 times. So in theory, that means we should have, at a minimum, 210 more rolls to add to that 70. So we'll have at least 280 rolls, hopefully a lot more than that, and we'll see then if these numbers get closer to 25, 25, 25, and 25. All right, so next week I'll do another update, and we'll see if we were able to get these numbers even closer by performing more trials. According to the law of large numbers, we should get closer to that actual perfect theoretical probability. We won't land on it exactly, but we'll get closer. Right? So, hope you guys had a good little break there from your first week. Let's get the second week started off the right way. This should not take a whole lot of time. Again, you're going to do it 3 times at a minimum, but you can do it as many times as you want. All right? See everybody soon, I hope. Have a good day.